Quick. Alright, I'm ready now. I didn't mean to do that. Or the PlayStation 5 records the footage of the game. So I wanted to make sure like it was recording properly, because I'll probably erase it anyway. I'm on the ps5 disc. I got the disc version. I got the disc as a gift. I only own 2 discs for the PS5, so I wanted to like get my hands on a disc, and this was one of them. I kind of wanted to play a game called Necromunda, Hired Gun, but it's only 1 player. But I was gonna get that one. Alright, I need Wrath of Fire. Some things are trying to kill me. So I think like I remember this level a little bit. There's like a big spider thing, like there's a big one of those things, and it killed me.
You're good. Let's find a way aboard that monster. Alright, what happened? Where'd I go? Oh, I see you guys.
Wait, Earth? Are they insane?
Oh, hi, not bad, thank you. I still like all them statues you got. I was thinking about making a video about my Mechagodzilla from back in the day, the vintage one. Your videos kind of inspired me a little bit.
Hey,
I'm not sure how good the audio or visual quality is. I'm just doing it for fun.
Yes, what's this?
let's get some.
Merely a scan.
For what?
Insufficient data, but it appears you passed.
Alright, how can we stop this thing? Options, people.
Cynthia's remnants are likely to have a control center.
Heads up, pathogen critters!
I just looked at my own stream for a second. The picture quality seems acceptable, to say the least. Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised. There's a handful of times when it came in fairly terrible. I think they just had an update for the PS5. I think whatever update they had helped.
Fireteam, let's
Because the
quell this
controller
shit.
had an update. That's weird. The controller itself, it said you have to update your controller. Click a button. Then I had to plug the controller in and update it. Oh not bad. I had like usually like for me it's like 3D audio in the headsets. Like right now I'm using the microphone on the controller, so there's no 3D audio on that, but on the headset there is. I think there's a way to set the TV for it now too. I haven't done that yet. No, I'm really not very good at this game. I just play it for fun, you know what I mean? Like, but one day I'm gonna beat the whole game though. I want to one day beat it on hard. Or intense. Intense at least.
Signal's closing.
Check this out.
Movement. Can't lock it.
Leon.
Sentry deployed. Dominated.
No, I just got a trophy. It says anti-mutation station. I don't know what it means, but I'll take it.
Needs an 8-pick.
I know there's one trophy that's real hard to get. You gotta kill 1,000 synths. Like those robot people. But there's synths that are on the wall. You know, there's like they're not active. You can still shoot them and it counts. Yeah, like I think level 1 has a bunch of synths that are just on the wall. Like they're just lining the wall. And you can just run and shoot them and it counts towards the number. So if somebody was like 50 short, they can just run through the first level 2 times and just shoot at the walls real quick. I think I remember that one. There's a lot of them. They're armed. They're coming at us with all kinds of weapons.
Synth download complete. Beginning analysis.
The Leon Stalker. Jesus. Wayland moved all the pathogen here.
Storage.
I heard once you get up to like the hardest difficulty, it's good to have a medic who knows what he's doing.
One ammo magazine when I see one.
Analysis complete. The synths are working from a location on the upper levels.
Because I was watching this guy on YouTube called Acid Glow. This Acid Glow guy, he's real nice at this game. I'm out of ammo. I'll be back. I'm heading for the ammo.
Ammo drop.
Grabbing ammo. Patching up.
Aid kits here.
Rearm. Patching up.
we get a closer view of the hologram.
Mutants, watch both ends!
Get eyes on this. Check this.
Got one of Honecker's Leons in there! Wayland crew, put them down! Incoming spicy nuggets!
Spicy nuggets.
Look at this.
I'm the same age as your mother. Same age as your mother. I'm talking to the viewer. I'm the same age as your mom. Go ask her.
All down. Move on.
There is an open synthetic near field on the far end of the room.
Yeah, well, I'm like 30, 40 years old. How the hell you think I afforded a ps5? You gotta be straight adult to afford one of them unless you're some gifted little boy.
Quantum encryption.
More pathogens. Secure the compartment.
Unless your parents spoiled the shit out of you, you're an adult. So that's how I got it. I ain't no little kid whose parents bought him the shit. Like, I used to watch the original Aliens on HBO when I was a little kid. I'd stay up at night and then turn on Channel 14, which was HBO, and Aliens would be on. And there wasn't all these alien movies. There was just one movie. It was called Alien. And the alien only was in the movie for like 10 minutes.
If one has an intact memory core, I may be...
And unless you stayed up past your bedtime, you weren't watching it.
This one is intact. Stand by.
Mutants on the upper deck.
Get eyes on this. Look at this. Stay frosty.
Oh, I understand. I understand. I do the same thing a lot.
Patching up.
Ward's clear. Esther, what's your progress?
I have reconstructed Cynthia's cipher. Access the upper door, over where you entered.
Is this something we can mess with?
No. The controls are locked.
Get us to whatever passes for engineering. We'll take out the power, stop it from lifting off.
I just want to say, if you could not blow the...
The files from the synthetic call this room Vitality Oven to grow.
Okay.
Idiomatically, energy capacitors.
Somebody take the gear.
Rearming. Aid kits here.
Grabbing ammo. Aid kits here. Catching up. Aid kits here. Grabbing ammo.
Access the control instrumentality. On the ceiling, the same capacitors we encountered in the previous section. Disable the enzymatic fuel cells.
She means shoot this shit on the side.
I see a 17% reduction in power flow. There must be more capacitors.
There, blow those two out. Stalker in the room, somewhere.
Shit to the floor.
Get eyes on. Look at this.
exposed. Buildup rate reduced to 16%. The final capacitor is in the center on the floor. I do not believe the alien ship will fly again.
We'll keep a garrison aboard anyway. Things half alive. Be just our luck if it heals itself, too. Patching up. Co, set us down in that hangar. Fireteam.
Trophy time. So got a trophy again. Gift of fire. Whatever that means. Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Hey, can anybody hear me? It won't let me go to the next mission. Keeps acting like we gotta go to the same one or something. I must have to talk to these people.
Wow. That, okay. From the...
I put you in for a cop. Listen up. So here's the deal.
I hoped we would have an opportunity to speak again. When you disabled Cynthia, she made several cryptic statements.
You there?
I hoped we would Wayland you. Cynthia defend that is.
I'm talking to that ugly ass bitch.
I do not. I will.
So the fuck?
Wayland Yutani would have been. Cynthia defended that is. It appears our these are true. I will retain the.
Goodbye, Esther. That's what I told her. There we go. I need to do my loadout now. Holy shit, that motherfucker. Alright, I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready. Here we go. I hope you're ready.
This is the big one, Fireteam. The Katanga Sino Hive must be destroyed. We stop the spread here. Blue Team will advance ahead of you and rig the refinery for self-destruct. You'll follow and keep their path to safety open.
They didn't make it back. It's just like things but why?
A fire team from 3rd Platoon has point and is moving ahead of us. Their call sign is blue.
Get it done.
We'll keep the sentry guns
Guys
up
on
so they
this.
can get out of here.
See this?
Keep it tight. There's our door.
See, the reason why these characters are called Wilkes and Billy is because of the fact that these came out almost immediately after Aliens, because Aliens was such a huge hit. It was
Xeno Swarm, focus on the sentry guns! Security synths! What the hell?
Hey, how you doing? I don't know if it's blurry or not though, because I'm on Twitch too. I'm on Twitch and I'm on YouTube at the same time. So it might be blurry.
Seeing them forward too! Nothing we can't handle! Continuing in! What's our aim?
she's talking to her psychiatrist, and she basically talks about a dream she has. The dream takes place on a
I'm just playing for fun anyway tonight or whatever. I'm not doing anything serious.
what she does is she basically tells a story about her and a couple of friends who were
Like I'm actually trying to smoke some weed, but I gotta kill these monsters and get back into the lobby to do that. I gotta make it back to the base in order to smoke.
these cabrones would shut down once we offed Computer Mom.
There is no evidence of higher level organization. With Cynthia offline, they have no direction.
Up after you. Lots of Sierras. Stay close and push hard.
I remember how you took 10 minutes to revive me.
Fireteam, spike a console for me. Esther, I want you to lock down all doors to forward and aft of our route.
My network intrusion will be detected. Expect a counterattack.
Aid kits here.
Rearm. Aid kits here.
Rearming.
Sentry deployed.
One, up.
Sentry deployed.
Grabbing ammo. Mine is ready to go.
Sentry deployed. Give the lady time to work, fire team.
I let my people do the work. Those two dudes right there, they're gonna do the work. I'm gonna hide right here in the corner behind all these guns and bombs. I'll be in the corner behind all the guns and all the bombs. They could be over there doing what they do.
Priority target! Take out that flamethrower!
through.
Oh, good.
The next defense line's just ahead. Let's get Blue Fireteam that cover. Sentry guns to starboard ran dry. Restock them.
Grabbing ammo.
I'm not sure, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of limited in scope. It's like a horde game, like Fight the Horde. I wound up getting it as a gift, so I wasn't going to turn it down, you know what I mean? But, like, I'm glad that it's multiplayer. I wish that I could be the alien. I wish I could be the alien and crawl through the shafts. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be like, one person is the alien and the other people are the soldiers, and you're supposed to hunt your friends. You're supposed to be the alien and hunt your friends, but that's not what this game is. This game would be a lot better if I could be one of the aliens and crawl through the vents and pop out at people. Or the first time, like as soon as it goes on sale, it'll definitely be worth it. Well, it might actually be worth it, because I mean, I had to pay a tiny bit more because, well, I didn't really pay. I was a gift, but I mean, like the disc for the PS5 cost like $5 more or whatever. It was like $45. There's no blue screen. Like, look, I'm looking at my messages right now. I'm checking my messages. I'm checking my notifications. You could even edit and chop a video. I could chop and edit a video. Like, hold on, I'm running from the alien. Oh, I mean, like, in a way, me too. You know what I mean? But like, it was a gift. You know what I mean? Hold on, like, I'm dead or whatever. So like I could legit be in it, like there's blue screen, like I can make a blue screen right now. But like 90% of the time there's no blue screen. Like I'm in the heat of battle right now, I can't really do it. Like right now, I'm in the menu screen. I'm looking at my messages. It says 41 minutes. It says game in progress. I'm looking at the trophies and there's no blue screen. But I still like streaming from the PS4 though, because like anytime you stream from the PS5, you never know if it's going to be blurry or not. 50-50 chance it's going to be blurry, but on the PS4 it's never blurry when I live stream. Always comes in crystal clear on the PS4.
Fireteam. How are you doing?
Their fire team faces multiple xenomorph assaults.
See this?
2 Marines injured. 1 severely.
Zipper 5. Hey, check this. Bag 'em and tag 'em. They're wasted. Let's get some.
You see this? Clear.
You're at our outer defense perimeter. Then come! Warrior on deck! I want to lock down this whole damn tower.
I would need access to the damage control systems.
You're crossing to Likasi Tower. Enemy territory.
We have lost contact with Blue Team. Eggs, please stay clear.
Melina, you read? Give me a sit rep. Double time, people. much nobody alone. Damage control room's just ahead. That's what Esther needs.
I need help.
Lock this shithole down. Esther, you're in charge now.
Medic. Doc,
Grabbing ammo.
I need help. Doc, bleeding out. I need help. I'm hit.
Oh, I forgot you were still there. We're all dying. Everybody's dying. I'm not really familiar with Battlefield. I'll try to check it out if I can.
Medic. Bleeding out.
We're all about to die. Everybody's about to... Okay, here's my... Oh, fuck, no.
Please install a wireless repeater on that console. That will allow them to override the system.
Killed in action.
This is certain to rouse idle xenomorphs.
Worrying about them as they so all they know is there's this massive 20-foot queen, basically with an ovipositor planting these eggs all over the place, and they don't really know what's going to happen. I mean, they know that, if they walk up to one of the eggs, that a face hugger will latch onto them, but they don't know how fast these things grow. What we end up finding out is that through the actions of Salvage and the fact that he's basically amassed hundreds, if not thousands of followers through his different broadcasts, that one of these individuals comes up to the Bio-National building where the Queen alien is being held with a bunch of explosives around her waist.
I'll get those bastards.
Testing.
He was so far gone, he was so far involved in religious zealotry that he didn't realize what it was that he was getting into. In his mind, he was going to be able to communicate with the xenomorphs. He was going to be able to talk to them. He was going to be able to say, hey, look, you guys can have all these different people around the world, but don't touch us because we're your loyal followers. We love you. But as we know, xenomorphs are driven by instinct. But this is what Salvage didn't grasp. In his mind, they were intelligent. He could communicate with them, so on and so forth. And so, again, these xenomorphs, the facehuggers, do not differentiate between Salvage and anybody else. And all of his followers are basically attacked. Now, for the crazy people who were there, that's what they were shooting for in the first place. But because of the fact that, all of this is basically going crazy and all of it's running amok, what ends up happening is Bio-National calls in their own guys, and they begin the process of shooting the place up, basically trying to kill off as many of Salvage's followers as they possibly can. Now, Salvage does not immediately die. Instead, things are just kind of going, kind of running amok, and that's really kind of it. But jumping back to Corporal Hicks, jumping back into space again, we end up picking up with the arrival of Massey. Remember, Massey was sent by Bio-National for the purpose of sabotaging the government-sanctioned mission to the xenomorph homeworld in order to grab a specimen for themselves. Now, with Massey coming up, what we end up finding out here is that the person who was going through and killing people and basically sabotaging the mission from the inside was Colonel Stevens. Colonel Stevens has been working for Bio-National. Now, we don't know exactly how they got him. Money seems to be the most logical cause, but we simply know that he's working among their ranks. The issue with this is that with Massey being a new arrival, he does not know that Newt is a stowaway. So it's kind of a cool scenario. Not only that, we also get a few Easter eggs here in the sense that much like in the original Aliens movie, really Aliens by James Cameron, what ended up happening is, of course, we stumbled across Newt when she was hiding out in the various ventilation shafts. That's exactly what happens here. Newt basically takes to the ventilation shafts and begins playing more of a reconnaissance Wilson's role, listening to the things that Massey's saying, how Massey's taking Hicks prisoner, how Massey's basically there to sabotage the mission, to kill off all the Marines, different things like that. But it can't be done in a way that looks illegit, because remember, the government always keeps tabs on what it is that's going on. And so where Stevens was able to sabotage things to a degree, the mission has to look like a complete and total catastrophe. And so what ends up happening here is Massey basically forces all the Marines to descend down onto the surface of the Xenomorph homeworld, and then what's going to follow is basically just a bloodbath. And that's exactly what it is. I mean, they go in there and they had no clue what it was that they were getting into. Now one, this is the Xenomorph homeworld, which means the numbers are higher here than anywhere else. Now we'll actually find out later on in the Xenomorph comics, assuming that we get that far into it, that there's actually a civil war among the aliens. You have the red and you have the black ones, and so there's basically kind of their own little civil war taking place. And it's a really cool, built up and drawn out concept. The fact remains here that with Massey basically continuing to hold Hicks hostage and watching the events unfold, we basically have Newt making her presence here. Now, this is kind of interesting because remember, Massey's still going by the idea that this all has to seem like a catastrophe. And so because of that, he actually sets the ship to self-destruct. And what'll happen is it'll basically look like Hicks and all those guys went to the Xenomorph homeworld. Xenomorphs basically overran them, and in a last-ditch effort to ensure the Xenomorphs wouldn't get back to Earth, that they scuttled the mission and blew up the ship. And so again, it's kind of an interesting way for the events to play out. But Newt basically ends up killing Massey. But then at this point, it's basically kind of recalling everybody back and trying to get out of there as best they can. The problem is that multiple people aren't really able to make it out on their own. Now, the crazy thing about this is that Newt herself had actually fallen in love with a guy by the name of Bueller. And what that did is it created a source of contention between Hicks and Newt, in the sense that, again, Hicks looked at her very much as like looked at her like a daughter. And so because of that, it was like seeing his own daughter basically moving on and having a relationship, different things like that. Now, I wouldn't deny that there was some measure of attraction between Hicks and Newt, even if only on the side of Hicks. But the fact remains,
Sergeant, I see a very large signal.
Size of a goddamn truck.
what's going on, guys? This is Rob, and if you're enjoying the content here on my channel, then make sure you hit the like button and make sure you hit subscribe so you can from the Alien line of comics. The issue with this is that between Alien Outbreaks, the video that we did last time, and this one, there was an actual novel, like an actual book with words. The reason why I say that is because a lot of people are like, do you mean graphic novel? Because that's just a giant comic book. But no, it was an actual novel. And we can't really do like novels per se, but that one was called Earth Hive. And all that really established was the desperate attempt to escape. They basically stowed away aboard a vessel called the USS American. And following their departure, all they really received between the time that they got on this vessel and left Earth's orbit, and to the time that they basically ended up at their pre-programmed destination, were just a series, like a smattering of transmissions from Earth. But there was no rhyme or reason. It was just whatever broadcast happened out. And it was really just an absolute massacre on Earth. It was absolutely insane. The implication here is that in a moment of desperation, the governments of the world launched nuclear weapons. We don't know that for sure. It's just kind of tossed out there a couple times. But I have to see if you think that
Great thing about Hyperdyne's plastic, anything not on the racks, I can pull out of cargo form.
As best they can. Now, of course, this also kind of deals with the idea. Keep in mind, Bueller was the synthetic, or I guess the person who seemed like a human being, later turned out to be a synthetic. But Newt had fallen in love with him. Just keep in mind, this takes place around 10 years after the events of Aliens. And so because of that, Newt, after learning that Bueller was synthetic when he was torn in half, really kind of sent her life into a tailspin in the sense that in her mind, the one man that she'd ever fallen in love with turned out to be an android, so he was never really a man in the first place. Now, initially, it doesn't change how she feels about him in the sense that she's still very much in love with him. But as time progresses, she kind of has to come to grips with the fact that Bueller was never a man. At the same time, Bueller himself is having a hard time basically coming to grips with the fact that he is synthetic. And this really tells us how far the programming goes on these things. That in some cases, I mean, not all of them were like that, but in some cases, these synthetics are programmed to believe that they're legitimately human. Now, of course, we know in Aliens that, like, Bishop, like, he knew he was a synthetic. He knew what he was programmed for. He knew what his purpose was. But in this instance, Bueller didn't know. He thought he was a legitimate human being. And then suddenly there was this, they went to the alien homeworld, and then he was torn in half, only to find out that he was a robot. So again, it kind of creates a very confusing situation for the two of them. And they're both trying to essentially rectify their own individual feelings. Now, at this point, it really begins to delve into this idea that Newt has this sort of connection with the xenomorphs that nobody else seems to have, in the sense that she actually has a dream that she's back in her room and that Hicks forces himself on her. But in the midst of this, Hicks basically explodes outwards with a full-grown alien. Now, the reason why this matters is because of the fact that it's almost like a warning sign. It's almost kind of like a radar going off or something like that. That whenever Newt, whenever she has these terrible, I guess we can call her Billy just for the sake of the comic, but whenever she has these premonitions, it means that the xenomorphs are not far behind. And so right off the bat, she's tipped off to the idea that there are xenomorphs that have gotten on board. Now, the funny thing about this is that how this is done is played fast and loose. I mean, we're not given this super complex. And, they've just kind of been on the ship ever since. But the idea here is just really more of just kind of an exercise in getting them off the ship. It's not a super complex story. There's really not a whole lot to it. They're still just kind of fighting for their survival and essentially just kind of kicking them off. They jettison them through the airlock. Billy goes to the hull of the ship and just kind of finishes them off. And that's really it. But the reason why this is significant and the reason why this matters is because they actually end up finding out that their pre-programmed destination was a terraforming facility on another planet. And the issue with this is that once they get there, they end up finding out that the entire military operation has basically been co-opted by a guy named General Spears. Now, General Spears has essentially lost his mind. He's a man.
This is the big one, Fireteam. The Katanga Xenohive must be destroyed. We stop the spread here. Blue Team will advance ahead of you and rig the refinery for self-destruct. You'll follow and keep their path to safety open.
For the purpose of basically weaponizing and turning them into soldiers. But because of the fact that Wilson and Billy, we're just going to call them Hicks and Newt. All right, I'm sorry. Like, we're not going to call them Wilson, Billy. That's stupid. Because of the fact that Hicks and Newt basically destroy those two aliens, General Spears views it as sedition. He views it as an act of, really an act of rebellion against his authorities.
This is the big one, Fireteam. The Katanga Sino Hive must be destroyed. We stop the spread here. Blue Team will advance ahead of you and rig the refinery for self-destruct. You'll follow and keep their path to safety open.
Research on Higgs. He now knows about the history of Higgs with regards to the first time he encountered the Xenomorphs during the first Aliens movie. So again, this all really kind of harkens back to the Aliens film, but it harkens back to the second movie, The Great
Flight control headquarters. Initiate on my mark. 3, 2,
Spears says
1.
is that in his
Mark.
mind, you know, they're basically just organisms. They're just creatures. They just exist. They follow orders. The orders come from their queen, but they just follow orders. But it's kind of funny because what he says is that during the initial outbreak on Earth, during the initial infestation in the early days, that the queens were popping up all over the place, right? Because that's how the xenomorphs function. I mean, we'll get to that when we get to the story about how, like, queens, you know, have the hierarchy and all that kind of stuff works. But when it comes to the xenomorphs, the queens have to link with the clones. I mean, that was established in the second movie. Like, that was established with the idea when Ripley goes stumbling into the hive of the queen, you know, looking around and just be like, oh, crap.
A fire team from 3rd Platoon has point and is moving ahead of us. Their call sign is blue.
Semper Fi.
We'll keep the sentry guns up so they can get out again. Xeno Swarm, focus on the sentry guns! Security synths! What the hell? Blue Fire Team, we're seeing synth activity. Give me a sit rep, Molina.
Yeah, lots over here too. Mostly labor models, some security. We're continuing inward. Watch our ass.
Lot of Sierras in here. Somebody throwing a We Love Xenos convention?
There is no evidence of higher level organization. With Cynthia offline, they have no direction.
Herrera, we got hit by synths rolling up behind. We're sealing the doors as we go.
Understood, Molina. We'll clear them for you. Lots of Sierra. Stay close and push hard.
Aid kit's here. Rearm.
Sentry deployed.
Spears has become aware of their campaign, travels over to the terraforming colony, and refuses to let them leave, and keeps them locked in there, only for them to be consumed by the Xenomorph. And you're going to go back. It's the perfect ruse, showing up there under the guise of protection for the purpose of furthering his own agenda. And so with each of these individuals contained within one of these isolation cubes, he also kept the Queen in full view of everything that was going on. And what he would do is he would unleash the Xenomorphs onto each of these people, but then as soon as the Xenomorphs killed that person, he would kill the Xenomorph. And the message that he was trying to get across to the Queen is, they attack only when I tell you to have them attack. If I tell you, do not attack, then they don't attack. If they do, then I'm going to kill them. Now,
That's the door Blue Fireteam sealed. Cut through.
they're smarter than the average bear, right? Like, I mean, they're pretty smart. They're pretty intelligent. You know, they're not communicative. You're not going to have an in-depth, complex explanation with an alien queen, but they do understand. The Queen's able to pick up what it is that General Spears is putting down. And so because of that, the Queen basically begins sending commands to the drones. You know, when General Spears basically says, do not have them attack, the Queen calls them off their attack. Now, the sadistic nature of this is that General Spears is just experimenting on people, experimenting on average individuals, but he's not the only one.
Busted open.
There may be more. Be cautious.
Wants to make you one of her own, that kind of thing. And so they don't really look at it as though people are being killed and new xenomorphs are being born. They look at it as people being reborn as xenomorphs, their essence, their soul. What it is that makes them who they are is being, brought to life in the form of a xenomorph. It's absolute insanity. I mean, this is just complete total madness. But when the insurgency begins to pick up, when Powell, when Hicks, when Newt basically begin the process of this mission and effectively begin to take over this military base, the loyalists of General Spears, of course, turn against them, which leads to the firefight. But members of the Alien franchise. When the Queen gets free, that means things are going to break the bubble. That means that things are going to get bad really, really fast. And that's exactly what happens here. That's exactly how it plays out. is hidden away from any form of danger. Now, it doesn't mean the Queen is vulnerable. I mean, we know that the Queen is probably the deadliest of the Xenomorphs in an immediate hive vicinity. That does not take into account like Queen Mothers or Empresses or anything like that, or even the Alien King if we choose to go that route. When it comes to the Queens, they are wildly deadly. And so because of that, in this scenario, it's really more of instinct. It's more of animal prey. Now, the Queen is being a little vindictive here, you know, in the sense that she's just like, everyone's gonna die. But the fact remains here that the Queen is carrying out her basic function. Clear out the area of any potential danger, make sure nothing's there. Anything that is there, capture it and bring it back for breeding. And then she'll begin the process of laying eggs. Now, what happens with the Queen is that once she leaves her ovipositor, which is to say, once she basically leaves that giant egg sac, she can't reattach to it. She has to make a new one. And so that will basically just die off. Whatever eggs were planted will just more or less kind of decay and go away. But a new ovipositor will form. And the Queen will begin the process of kind of, propagating the xenomorph species once again. The issue with this is that Powell and Hicks are waiting for Spears to return. Now, their hope, with everything that's going on, as crazy as it is, their hope is that when he returns, he'll run headlong into xenomorphs and be completely gone. The issue with this is that he comes barreling in a massive tank and basically begins taking out all these xenomorphs. But in the midst of all this, Mueller effectively wakes up, and this is when he really becomes.
Warrior Xeno!
Area secure.
Catching up. Ammo.
Blue Fireteam, how are you doing?
Rearm.
Busy Herrera!
Their Fireteam faces multiple xenomorph assaults. 2 Marines injured, 1 severely.
You're at our outer defense perimeter.
Sentry deployed.
Shift deployed.
Get the sentry guns back up. Big signal!
Shift deployed.
Got a warrior bug!
That's exactly what happens. The xenomorphs immediately turn against him. The Queen makes her presence known, and that's when they essentially find out that she was just kind of leading him on the entire time. So, of course, these xenomorphs basically attack, General Spears. He's dead, and that's the end of him. His rebellion basically comes to an in before it even started, and the Earth remains overrun with xenomorphs. And so, because of that, we have Higgs and we have Newt arriving back at Gateway Station. This story essentially wraps up. And we have, this uncle and his daughter, communicating the last of their transmissions, basically saying, hey, look, they're building some great big huge giant hive here on Earth. I don't know what it's for. I don't know what it's...
Melina, you read? Give me a sit rep. Fuck. Double time, people.
What's going on, guys? It's been so long since we covered Aliens. I didn't know if anybody would watch it, so I figured let's bridge the gap and let's do Greenland. First of Aliens, every week Comics Day. But I kind of feel like this would be fun because I wanted to cover Aliens, but it's been so long since we covered Aliens. I didn't know if anybody would watch it, so I figured let's bridge the gap and let's do Green Lanterns first of Aliens. That way we get like comic book superheroes and aliens because I love xenomorphs. Xenomorph comics are really, really cool. Now, one thing I want you guys to keep in mind is that because this is Green Lantern versus aliens, you're going to see some weird things that are going to sort of throw you off kilter in terms of the fact that you're going to be like, that's ridiculous. No way a Green Lantern would or would not be able to do that. But it does make for kind of an interesting little bit of a story. So initially this opens up with just some unlucky Green Lantern.
Oh yeah, hidden cash. Hidden cash, man.
Breaks out of his chest. And that's part of it. Whenever it comes to stories like this, it always opens up with somebody's chest being busted open. But at that point, it just kind of switches over to your traditional fare of superhero escapades on Earth. You got Neo, you got Black Fury, you're facing off against some criminals that are there.
Let's lock this shithole down. Esther, you're in charge now.
Get it done.
Please install a wireless repeater on that console. That will allow me to override the system.
8 kids here.
This is certain to rouse idle xenomorphs.
Sentry deployed. Sentry deployed.
Initiating door overrides. Subdeck 5 through deck 35.
Watch for a drone!
ducts by deck. Expect more xenomorphs to be roused by this.
Anyone need gear? Passing up.
Eventually this opens up just some unlucky Green Lantern that's apparently implanted with embryo and of course an alien brain down his chest. And that's par for the course. Whenever it comes to stories like this, it always opens up with somebody's chest being busted open. But at that point it just kind of switches over to your traditional fare of superhero escapades on. You know, you got like Mary.
Large signal.
Size of a goddamn truck.
Final lock.
Los hijos de puta guard queens. Make sure you got a full kit. Be ready for swarms, eggs, and trucks with teeth.
I don't remember if it was Dark Horse or IDW. I want to say it was Dark Horse. But one of the things that always happen, you know, regardless of what it is there's always some measure of familiarity. And that makes sense, because if you have Hal Jordan here alongside Green Lanterns that you've never seen or heard of, then it'd be kind of weird. It seemed a little strange. But at this point in time, when they arrive on this planet, they basically end up finding out that they're here because of the fact that the Green Lantern of this sector had basically just gone missing. And so, of course, this leads to the arrival of all these different xenomorphs pouring out. Now, this is what makes this story kind of cool, is because on the surface, we're like, okay, so like when you watch Aliens, it's the Colonial Marines who are really, really cool. They're the toughest folks in the world until they meet the xenomorphs, and then they just get wrecked left and right. You know that at the end of the day, the only thing that stands between these Marines and death is whatever awesome guns they happen to have and their wits. With the Green Lanterns, they've got rings that allow them to do virtually anything they want to. They can make any kind of construct that they can think of, and then that's it. I mean, they basically have the upper hand on these mindless beasts and so on and so forth. The funny thing about this is that the xenomorphs are really, really fast, and they're very hard to track. So, you know, we would normally think this would be a super easy conflict, no muscle fuss, and things would wrap up very, very fast. Ultimately, these Green Lanterns were almost easily taken by surprise. Now, the other half of this is that when the response is, let's destroy them, Hal Jordan's answer is, no, we can't. And that's where things get a little hairy.
Hey, if you happen to acquire one of those, all requisitions come with free cornbread. I got an assload piled in the back. Nobody eats them.
Virtually anybody would have just been like, yeah, let's just go. But Hal Jordan, you know, back in the day, over the events of Twilight, well, he wasn't necessarily like this, you know, philanthropist, humanitarian, let's all hold hands and sing Kumbaya. What he did believe in was the sanctity of life. As Green Lanterns,
bypass.
Anytime, anywhere. Some characters here like Slug. As far as I'm aware, all these guys are supposed to be dead. The only Green Lantern that should be alive is Kyle Rayner. Really, it's just one of these things where you just kind of have to take it for what it's worth. A lot of these stories, the way they're done, they're not really in canon. They kind of are, but they kind of aren't. It's just a story that's out there somewhere. So you just gotta kind of take it for what it's worth and just sort of roll with it. But the whole basis behind the arrival of Salak and these guys is Salak basically says, hey, look, there was a freighter that
We are now officially on search and rescue. Blue Team made it through Katanga's last security synths, but once they reached the Xeno Hive, they dropped out of radio contact. You're going in to find them.
The concept around the first Alien movie was very unique when you consider how much has changed ever since the inception of the Xenomorph. There were various changes and inspirations from many sources that, in the end, would bring us this iconic beast in sci-fi. This video is going to cover additions to the cast, changes to the alien life cycle, and its original name. During the mid-1970s, H.R. Giger was hired to work on concept art for the sandworms of the movie called Dune. This early script was directed by Alejandro Jodorowsky. The movie was on a massive scale for its time, something that involved talented artists and actors across and mechanical parts, something Giger had called biomechanics. When the paintings of H.R. Giger were brought up, Dan O'Bannon had this to say: "His visionary paintings and sculptures stunned me with their originality. These
What's going on, guys? This is Rob, and if you're enjoying the content here on my channel, then make sure you hit the like button, and make sure you hit subscribe. Gives us, really kind of a perfect ground to begin the process of expanding on the alien mythos, and then sort of building from there. Of course, the next one is basically the female lore, which deals with the introduction of the Queen Mother, which is this wildly powerful xenomorph. We'll actually talk about that in this video. But a little bit of background for those people who are of the age just now getting into the Xenomorph franchise and don't really know anything about it. The Xenomorphs are the primary antagonists of the Alien series, and regardless of their type, there are certain common traits that all Xenomorphs share, ranging from the life cycle of the Necron-like egg to the face hugger to the chest burster, then the end of the stage, and eventually the Queen. Regardless of what stage they are, they share acidic blood and pronounced incompetence. Now, take into account this trait has changed over the course of the movie series as well as the comics. This whole
they can come from any direction.
The movies and the franchise itself, as well as the
Be paranoid.
An
If you
example
see
of
something,
this is that in Aliens, James Cameron established that aliens were created by virtue of a queen that plants eggs. But in the original Alien series, there was a deleted scene where Ripley ended up finding out that the way aliens basically reproduce is by taking over hosts and then essentially converting them into cocoons, basically rematerializing them. Now, because of the fact that Alien and Aliens had two wildly different forms of xenomorph reproduction, most people have really just kind of gone with the assumption that the reproduction process seen in the first Alien film in the director's cut is basically the process that's undertaken when no queen is available. So a human being or any kind of organic material is converted into a cocoon. The face hugger will impregnate a host, will impregnate it with a queen, and then the queen reproductive cycle will begin. So again, it's just kind of reconciling these two things in order to make them work together. Now, the life cycle begins.
Hear that?
Body on the deck.
arm.
Corporal Delahaye. Grab her tags.
Grabbing ammo. Patching up. Aid kit's here.
And not killing them in the process. And also during the gestation process, the larva absorbs part of the host creature's DNA, taking on certain characteristics of the host creature itself. Hence the variation in the xenomorphs that have been revealed over the course of the movies. And so from the larva stage, it evolves pretty rapidly, often taking only a couple of hours to grow into an adult form. Now with all the forms of xenomorphs, again, they share acidic blood and toughened skin, and ability to survive the extremes of space. Although it has been shown, like it was in Alien 3, that when subjected to rapid heating followed by rapid cooling, xenomorphs are susceptible to these extreme rapid changes in temperature and will ultimately respond in relation to these changes to other methods. Jump, they explode, or whatever the case may be. Now, during the adult stage is when xenomorphs are at their most dangerous. When they're adults, they're usually significantly larger than the host, and despite their size, they're extremely stealthy, able to move nearly silently, move just as quickly hanging from the ceiling as they do on the ground. Now, while seeming to have primate level intelligence, they also have a protective exoskeleton, a long flexible tail with a spear-like fin, and an elongated noble head, as well as an inner mouth like a molar eel for attacking their opponents. The exoskeleton is made of rubberized silicone, with a heat and cold resistant, flexible polymer, which also protects it from smallpox fire and most melee weapons, although high-range shotguns, pulse rifles, and smart guns penetrate this exoskeleton.
Clear.
Now, the
Keep
number
moving.
one most powerful alien on the list in the cinematic universe would have to be the alien
Aid kit's here.
The alien and the alien queen that was growing inside of her.
Door's welded. Cut it. We know Blue Fireteam went this way. Busy little creatures. New signal. Watch its attacks.
Boy.
Clear. S, you got anything?
Katanga's critical systems are on the lower decks. If the blue fire team continued to pursue their objective, they would have laid below.
Who wants the gear?
Perhaps assimilated from whale-like creatures, they appear as alien queens with their upper body, while the lower body is whale-like with the exception of tentacles. Now the white hybrids appear in Alien vs. Predator Deadliest of Species. A computer system named Toy created the white hybrids, which possess traits of aliens, predators, and their blood is not nearly as acidic as that of the typical xenomorphs, and they are capable of speech and healing firearms. In addition to this, they're also led by a key alien instead of a queen, and their face huggers are capable of impregnating normal aliens. Eloise appears in Aliens Purge and Alien vs. Predator Pursuit. Created by Solaris 503, she is a prototype combining the best traits from alien queens, humans, and androids.
Grabbing ammo.
Eyes on the drone!
Catching up.
Grabbing ammo.
Dino! Fucking hell, they just keep throwing bodies at you, you know? Flares go across the catwalks. Keep on them.
The console nearby is active. Please patch me in.
Aid kits here.
Rearming. Aid kits here. Sentry deployed.
Access. Stand by.
Look for Esther's hack!
Grabbing ammo.
out!
S, what have you got?
Patching up.
Blue team used this console to disable the capacitor safeties.
They're still in the fight.
Found an aid.
They'd be headed to the
Take the
core
gear.
lift next.
But even base hunters and its enemies, Fireteam was also introduced in Extinction as one of the largest alien species ever created. Their claws are exaggerated and able to decapitate enemies in one slice. The claws are also powerful enough to tear through armor and even a starship's hull. They're also able to heal much faster than the common xenomorph and are single-minded killing machines, making no effort to spare enemies being a great process. In Alien vs. Predator 2, on the front, the red alien queen is first introduced. It results in the alien base hunter impregnating a predator and the resulting drone evolving into a queen. Now, how the red alien appears is according to media, as they vary from comic book and video game appearance. In the video game series, the red alien possesses a stockier physique and dreadlocks similar to the predator themselves. The mandibles have a place in their mouth than the normal alien, but in primal form, the red alien is capable of using its mandibles and easily crushing and slaying enemies. In the arcade game Alien vs. Predator, the Razor Claw was first introduced. Its coloration being closer to purple, it has extremely large claws on its fingers. It's quicker than the normal xenomorph and is capable of cutting a human in half. It's also believed the Razor Claw is the result of genetic manipulation, but it's never been verified. Also in the arcade game is a Smasher, which appears brown and green and attacks by charging like a ram. Like most xenomorphs in the arcade game, they were added as a variety of features to fight, so little information is known about them. In the Aliens Colonial Marines, the Crusher alien makes an appearance, having a much wider and heavily muscled body than the normal xenomorph, as well as a wider crest. The Crusher is able to smash through steel doors if needed to reach its prey. And finally, in the PC version of the Aliens vs. Predator game, there appears to be a xenomorph. They appear to be both mechanical and biological, and can simply fire laser.
Come on, you idiots. You guys suck worse than me. You suck worse than I do.